Alright, finally time to watch some YouTube.
48 people, or 2.37% of voters, said that this game was mainline. 53.2% of voters said that this game was a spin-off.
Yeah, I mean, like, it makes sense why people don't think this game is mainline, but wait, is this game canon? Well, alright guys, now I do have a genuine question for you. Is Sonic Speed Simulator canon? Now I might be asking, well, what is canon? Well, I will tell you what canon is. Canon is basically a part of the timeline. So for example, Sonic X Shadow Generations is canon, that is a part of the timeline. But Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games is not canon because that is a spin-off game, sort of like Sega All-Star Racing and stuff like that. So what is Sonic Speed Simulator considered, canon or is it not canon? Well, in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at all the evidence, all the details, and we're going to come up with a conclusion to see if Sonic Speed Simulator is canon to the Sonic franchise. And because why not, let's start off with the worst piece of evidence I found, and that is the official Sonic the Hedgehog account said that everything is canon. And you might be asking, well, what account was this on? It was the official X or Twitter account, whatever you like to call it. And yeah, they did indeed say this, but to be completely honest, I think everyone assumes this was a joke by the social media manager. Because I mean, like, we're really saying Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games is canon, or Sega All-Star Racing and games like that? I don't think so. So I think this is probably the worst piece of evidence I found towards Sonic Speed Simulator being canon. I'm not even gonna count this, but hey, you know what, just in case you were thinking about it, here's that tweet. But this next piece of evidence I have is very substantial. This is actual evidence from the devs that Sonic Speed Simulator could be canon. So what I'm about to show you are official messages from Nimrock inside the Sonic Speed Simulator Discord server. So the first message reads, Sonic Speed Simulator has been deemed canon by Sega, in brackets, still not 100% sure how that even remotely works, end of bracket. But what this really means is we can't use any, and the Discord message does get cut off, but I'm pretty sure he was going to say at the end was any dead characters or like non-canon characters. So dead characters like Maria, so we can't have a Maria skin, and Mephiles skin technically, you know, stuff like that. Anyways, moving on to the second message, to be honest, because they are all phantom illusions. Not sure if Sonic Dash has an excuse, might be one of the few non-canon Sonic games. Now on to the second message, sort of. All the characters in our game teleport in from another world via world rings. This is the canon explanation why two people can play as Sonic at the same time. So the explanations as to why this game is canon is number one, the Phantom Ruby, I'm pretty sure, with illusions, sort of like when Infinite made Metal Sonic illusions, Chaos illusions, and Sonic Forces. And I want to talk about this one first because inside of the mobile game Sonic Forces Speed Battle, this actually happens as soon as all of the characters spawn in. There are little phantom illusion particles trailing behind them as they are an illusion. And now this could make sense for Sonic Speed Simulator, but the Phantom Ruby is here. Now, if you guys don't know, the Super Shadow event is going to happen tomorrow on Monday, but I think this excuse for Sega is not true. I mean, like, Infinite has not been in the game at all, or the Phantom Ruby, so no one could even be using it. And let's say he was the entire time with these illusions. Guys, he doesn't have the Phantom Ruby right now. No one is using it. So right now, for this past week, with the Phantom Ruby just floating in the air, are these people illusions or are they from different worlds? To be honest, I have no idea for this Infinite excuse. I don't think they are illusions. I think it would rather be the second excuse, and that is that they're from different worlds, which again is a lazy excuse because that means that over 1 billion Sonics or 1 billion players are technically canon because this game has well over 1 billion visits, which is still incredible. But so that means that there are over 1 billion worlds. Well, I guess that makes sense, but I think you guys know what I'm trying to say. 1 billion Sonics are canon coming from different worlds. To be honest, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if what I said just makes sense, but even if it doesn't, I do think coming from other worlds is a little lazy in my opinion. And now, before I go to flaws, because yes, I have a ton of nitpicks on why this game should not be canon. If this game is truly canon, where does it actually go on the timeline? I mean, like, would it go after Frontiers, before Frontiers? So if I had to be honest, if I had to make a prediction, I would say this game would take place after the very last Sonic game to ever happen. Because if I'm being honest, the stuff that happened in this game is wild. Obviously, I think it would take place not when Sonic's 90. I don't know, guys. My point being is that I don't think this game belongs anywhere else but the future. Like, there's no way this game takes place before SA2, because literally the world we're in right now is Space Colony Arc. And I mean, like, there are multiple references to future games, like Frontiers, X-Gens, Superstars. So I mean, like, I think the only way this game takes place is well in the future. And I think it takes place really, really, really far in the future. So if I have a final verdict, I would just say that this game does not exist in the timeline just yet. That might be a lame answer, but I think it's the only right answer. Let me know what you guys think and where this game should take place in the timeline. I think it takes place in the future, and it has not happened yet. So now, guys, before we end the video, I want to move on to some flaws that I have with this. Like, flaw number 1, this is the bracelet from Sonic X. So does that mean that Sonic X is canon? Or does this mean that since there are multiple worlds, Sonic X Sonic went to the Sonic Speed Simulator world or the mainline world? Like, that is just so confusing. Or did Sonic just find this bracelet randomly on the beach shore and like call it a day? Like, I have no idea. Because with this event, we also had the Chef Amy skin. So you know this is canon because it had an official event inside the game. And it wasn't just like a one-off skin that had like no storyline. It was like in the daily quest or something. And now the second flaw I have with this is, well, Doom is back for the 3rd time. If you guys remember, in Shadow the Hedgehog, he supposedly died and then came back in X-Gens. And I think after X-Gens, right, he's supposed to be dead. But here he is in Speed Sim, completely alive if this game is canon. I mean, like, that means he also gave Shadow Doom wings for the 2nd time. So he literally tried the exact same strategy twice. In X-Gens and in Speed Sim. Like, what? And my third reason is that Sonic Prime. How did we get here? And now obviously the lame excuse is that technically this New York City is a different world. But I mean, like, what type of excuse is that? Because let's just say this is the official New York City. First off, I mean, like, after they won inside Sonic Prime, I would assume they would have turned this place down, right? Like, this thing would have been gone. And number 2, in order to access these like areas, like these no place and the jungle or boss cage maze, I forgot what it's called, you have to break the Paradox Prism. So, like, did we break the Paradox Prism? Because the Paradox Prism is inside of Sonic Speed Simulator. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's officially inside of the game. It's been a part of events before and stuff. So, like, every time we have to come here, do we break the Paradox Prism? Or, like, I guess we just throw down a ring and hop into the world. Which, is that even possible? Like, is that canon? Like, can you even do that? And my next flaw is that the Sonic Speed Simulator storyline is a little messed up. And what I mean by that, when this game, well, turned into 2.0 and had the biggest revamp of all time, and but when they did the revamp, they had the storyline where Eggman completely erased the old world and gave us this. Everything Sonic, like every single, like, old Green Hill Zone, like that was the old Sonic world. He just erased all of that and gave us this. So that's canon. He erased our other entire world and gave us this, and that's canon. That's canon. And you know what else is crazy about that? Everyone seems to not overreact to this. I think if you look at the dialogue, I didn't look at the dialogue, but like, there's no like storyline in this game where it was like, I can't believe he did this, we have to revert it. I mean, like, they have portals to the older worlds, but even then, that's not even like restoring the old worlds. This is just portals to like other worlds technically, right? So like, Eggman just erased the entire Sonic world and gave us a new one. Everyone was like, okay, that's fine. they were all chill with it. And my very last flaw that I can think of in like the last like 5 minutes was that fake Metal Knuckles, I don't know about the other two, but fake Metal Knuckles is canon. And I'm pretty sure fake Metal Sonic as well. Because if you guys don't know, Mechanic Tails or whatever, like Tails, I actually found these on the ground like meteors in a Sonic Speed Simulator event. And if you guys don't know, these skins actually come from Sonic Heroes, from like a cheat code bug or something like that. I don't really know what it's called or how you unlock these skins inside Sonic Heroes, but they're canon apparently, and they came from space. And all of this happened before Halloween, and then like they ditched the storyline. Like, how did this happen? Excuse me. So alright guys, for my final thoughts, for my final verdict, is Sonic Speed Simulator canon? In my opinion, personally, no, it's not. I think this game being canon would just ruin the absolute fun out of this game. And we already see it being ruined by them not adding dead characters or even collabs. Like, Sonic Forces Speed Battle gets to add Lego Sonic, but like we can't? Like, what? So what I'm trying to say is that I think Sega thinks it's canon, but I think this game is not. I think it would ruin the fun of this game. And I think it's better out being its own thing. And I don't even think this game should be connected to an alternate universe world or anything like that. Because I have to be honest, again, this game being canon ruins the fun of everything. I want this game to exist to do wacky stuff with Sonic. Like, for example, Sonic Forces Speed Battle. And they do so much wacky stuff and cool stuff with that game. And that's what I want to have with Sonic Speed Simulator. To run around freely as anyone I can imagine inside the Sonic franchise. So my final verdict is no, I don't think this game is canon. But you know what? You guys can prove me wrong inside the comment section below. Go for it. If I agree with you, maybe I'll heart your comment or something like that. But yeah, guys, that is it for me. Here are all of these shoutouts from the last video. You guys have earned it. And if you guys can tell me if you think this game is canon or not, I'm going to be giving 3 of you guys a shout out in the next video. And without further ado, if you already, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'll be seeing you guys next one. Peace. Thanks for watching.